big rubber wrestlers. Who had those big rubber wrestling figures when they were a kid? If I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times. Everybody remembers the LJNs. AWA Remco, love them, have them all. Popey from Japan. There was even a Gorgeous George doll back in the day. But the most impactful wrestling figure line to start it all, the LJNs. Now, other companies have joined in. Big rubber guys. Of course, you know, even Jack's Jazzwares have had a couple of attempts that were a little small. But, you know, I never intended on being a breaking news person as far as wrestling figures, wrestling memorabilia, even in the blog days. I'm like, I do in-depth stories, not breaking news, but there's some news today that broke that is going to get bigger tomorrow and really needs talked about. Let's take a look. So a few days ago, a friend of mine told me that there was a rumor that TKO had bought the rights to the LJN license, and he just said LJN, but I think he meant Wrestling Superstars. I kind of pushed it out of my mind because I thought, that's weird that TKO would buy it, you know, not Mattel. Maybe he got it wrong, I don't know. But nevertheless, that same friend sent me a picture today, and here it is. It's a little sneak preview shot, and you probably have seen it already, of the San Diego Comic-Con setup for Mattel. And indeed, there is a life-size LJN WWE Superstars box purportedly for you to pose in if you're attending the San Diego Comic-Con. Very interesting. Of course, what this means is the big rubber wrestling wars have begun. Because, as many of you know, Major Bendy's does very well with their big rubber guys. I've talked about them a lot. I showed you the prototype for Harley Race, and they're really nice. I mean, they're the closest thing we have to new LJNs, and they're doing tons and tons of classic stars, even remakes of ones we already had as LJNs that are even cooler. That Blackstrap or Andre from back in the day just sucks. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, big rubber guys, Major Bendy, whatever you want to call them, are set to announce an AEW line tomorrow at their own little announcement booth, center, whatever you call it, panel. I don't know. It's a reveal. You know, I talk about it a lot, about how fans tend to love these panels and the people involved in the companies, whether it be Mattel, wherever, and they seem to just glorify these talking heads and designers and all these people who just appeal to them for some reason. They are not your friend. Look at this. They're not each other's friend either. You have the Major Bendy's guys doing real well. I'm not sticking up for anyone here. I'm just saying they're doing real well. In comes the bigger guys, right, to knock them right out. They all hate each other, and they're all out for your money. Don't think they're your friend. Do not think they're your friend. But they are probably going to bring you a lot more rubber guys to buy in the coming years, months, whatever. Especially now that we're getting LJN back, as LJN as we know it anyway. So what are they going to have? It's hard to say. I mean, we know with big rubber guys, the Major Bendy's, they're going to announce some new classic names. Of course, we already have Andre and the Brawler here, but I think they're going to announce Paul Ellering. I think that's already been done in a poll or something. And then you have Hercules, Tito Santana, and Hillbilly Jim off the top of my head as some of the other names. Of course, there'll be some surprises. And then they are unveiling their AEW line. They've already announced Toni Storm, which I'm on the fence about. I only collect the classic names in the big rubber guys, but, you know, her wrestler is a classic gimmick. It's a classic movie gimmick, a classic wrestler gimmick. I mean, the figure's outfit could pass for an old-timey women wrestler in the Mildred Burke era, the Moolah era. Of course we're allowed to say Moolah around here. We love Moolah. Fuck you, Snickers. Anyway. Big rubber guys announcing the AEWs, and of course, WWE, Mattel has to come along and just take the wind right out of their sails. What are we going to see from WWE and Mattel in their beautiful little WWE Superstars setup? Probably, I would say, a mix of both, just like the big rubber guys. We're probably going to see some classic wrestlers in the fold, and probably some new ones. That helps me out because I'm not going to feel inclined to buy the new guys. I honestly don't think I'm going to feel very inclined to buy remakes if they go that route, which, you know, a lot of companies are. I mean, you see the classic vintage Star Wars Kenner figures, they're back. Not all of them, but a lot of them are back. It's like a complete remold of the original. So we're going to see guys like Rick Rude who are under contract again. Do we really need another Rick Rude? I mean, it will drive the price down probably a little bit, but I don't care. This is a beautiful recruit, by the way. Look at that tat. Will it drive the price down? I don't know. I don't care. I'm not looking into that. What I'm looking for is what they're going to make. With the LJN look, they already go for their Coliseum collection, which is Ultimate Edition figures done in the LJN style for each character. I guess they're kind of running out of options there, but it looks like, just like those, which were originally Mattel Creations exclusives, which means you order them through Mattel Creations. They've now gone to Amazon, but I think they're still on Mattel Creations anyway. It looks like these LJNs may go down the same route. So is this going to replace those? Who knows? What I would really like to see is some classic stars who we didn't see in the original line. I mean, you know they're going to go for the people they have lined up already in contract. Sherry, Brother Love, Zeus, if he's still available. He just had a Remco style figure, so he probably is. And of course, Muhammad Ali. Where would we be without Muhammad Ali in another figure? If he's still available to them, you damn believe they're going to be a referee Muhammad Ali in that LJN set. Because if you remember, they told us, you wouldn't have the Harley Race and Superstar Graham from the 70s figures if we didn't want to do another LA. Yeah, fuck you, Mattel. Anyway, that's my second F-bomb. I'm not usually into that. Anyway, it's an exciting time. We're going to see a lot of new product from two companies, a lot of new big rubber product. I know one guy we're not going to see. This guy. Can't do killers anymore, unfortunately, but, you know, it happens. Remember, Snuka was not convicted. I want more Snukas, guys. Anyway, it's exciting what we're going to see at San Diego Comic-Con tomorrow. I will not be watching any live streams because I have a life, but if you do, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe as always, and stay tuned for another video that'll be a little more in-depth and not so breaking news-ish.